So you took the cups out without even
cups
looking
out
at
to
the
wash
base
them.
until after the
And
look.
I'm like, what is this? And then that's when I contacted the defendant.
Yeah, you can respond to what you wanted to respond to, and then I'll open it
Okay.
up.
She was going to pay. I said, okay, what's good for you? And it's all in the text. She said, okay, Friday the 20th. I said, okay, what time? She said, after 5. I said, okay. So Thursday, the day before, I texted to confirm, hey, are we still on for tomorrow? I never heard back. So I texted her. I said, I'm assuming you don't plan on giving my money back, and no response. That's when I proceeded to take out the small claims. And I just want to say the fact that she's possibly accusing me of changing the stuff in the box is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't find you credible, ma'am.
It's ridiculous.
To say you don't know, but to claim that he swapped this out, that you looked at a NutriBullet when you just testified that you didn't even know what a NutriBullet was, makes zero sense to me. What makes sense is that when you open the box, you saw the contents. I'm not accusing you of replacing it, but you're the one who opened the box.
But where would I have gotten something to replace it with? I just got it from my...
But you're accusing him of that.
Well, once it left my house, I don't know what happened.
At the end of the day, I found it very egregious that you were dismissing his complaints over 25... Hold on, I'm talking. That you were dismissing his complaints for $25. Whether he wanted cash or not is not your problem. Give him the $25 via Venmo.
I could have.
Why didn't
no?
Who cares?
On the phone.
Who
so
cares?
how am I supposed to Venmo him if I don't have his Venmo? He wanted cash under my mat right
Don't
then.
they have cash apps or Venmo
right then and there
by number?
And I was working.
Why don't you just
Not
tell? You
true.
could have told him.
Absolutely not true. I would have taken
okay.
it in pennies. If she said, hey, come pick up 2,500 pennies, I said, okay, I'll be right over.
You could have
I would have
also
taken that money anyway. It's not true.
But he only gave me 48 hours. Like he was like, I need
ma'am.
this now.
He actually scheduled the meetup when you were available, and you didn't follow
I got
through.
called into work because there was a crisis. And I told him
Again,
that.
but this is your mistake to correct. Do you not understand that?
It
And then you
wasn't
want
a
to come in here and
mistake.
sue him for $4,000? Are you crazy?
I've had to take off multiple days of work because of this.
How?
Because he's suing
You
me for
never met him.
for $25.
You never met up with him. How did you miss work?
Because I had to come to court and because he was messaging me and
Right, you
harassing
could have
me
given
while I
him
was trying to
given
work.
his $25 back and you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I wanted to.
You weren't trying to give him his $25 back. You weren't.
All I know is he took it out of the box, looked at it, said okay.
You don't know that. Your husband's not here.
True.
You didn't do the exchange. Stop saying
Well,
that.
I don't think he
Stop.
lied to me.
You should have returned the money. Are we done?
I tried.
No, you didn't.
And the last thing I want to address is you say that this is an as-is sale, right? If I say I'm going to give you a cat, but it's in the box, and then I give it to you and it's a dog, that's not an as-is sale, right? An as-is sale is, you know what? It turns out it was a bad motor. It was a lemon blender. As long as you didn't know, it's his problem that it has a faulty motor.
Yeah.
But when he buys a NutriBullet and it ain't a NutriBullet, that's not an as-is sale, right? We have what we need. The parties are excused while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you both.
This court is now in recess. You can step out.
So this reminds me of the $5 latte case that we had. That we had someone sue over a $5 latte over principle. And I understood it. It was annoying, but I got what the plaintiff was saying. And it's similar to what the plaintiff is saying here. That this was something he bought. He trusted that he was buying an actual NutriBullet. The defendant made certain claims. And for her to not make this right, and I think it was her resistance, like, you're almost bothering me when you're in the wrong. I think that's what the plaintiff was so emotional about. But the defendant, for her to assert that the plaintiff came all the way down here and had swapped these items out in order to bring her to court over $25 is insane. I think that's what she did, and that's why she sold it for cheap.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And as you point out with the as-is sale, and typically, look, you bought this thing, it's on you, unless it was misrepresented.
Right.
And we saw his picture of the listing, and it was misrepresented. And then add to it that it was not a NutriBullet.
That's a whole nother level of, like, deception.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it was just the cups that were the problem. Now it's the entire thing.
I think she had to have known. And when he said today, I would have taken 2,500 pennies, I think he would have. I think he would have gotten a truck, driven for his 2,500 pennies, and it would have been over. I want to give him more than $25.
Punitive? No.
I just think what she did is so egregious, but that's me being as angry as the plaintiff is, and I think I need to resist that temptation.
So $25 in favor of the plaintiff.
And a nice little wrap on.
See you later on the countersuit. All right, so we have a verdict.
We have a verdict.